Good morning. Oh, it's good to hear that voice again. I'd like to hear it one more time. Good morning. Oh, my goodness, we're full of life today. That's wonderful. I'm glad to see that. Oh, goodness. We're here at Woodland Chapel, as we all know, by divine appointment. There was something within our souls, our mind this morning, that said, yeah, I want to do that. I want to take this in. I want to be open to the experience of being with other people who support me in my choice to live a spiritual life, to walk in the spiritual path, to sing joyous songs, and to pray together, and to hear a great message this morning from Cheryl. Yes, soon to come. Let's see, there are some announcements to be made this morning. Is there anyone joining us for the very first time? Oh, we've all been here before. Oh, that's great. Be sure to join us for hospitality after the service. There's coffee and usually some treats. I'm holding an information meeting at 12:45 in the library. This is a great opportunity to learn more about our philosophy and about Woodland Chapel. It can be a review session for some of you who might like that, and it can be an opportunity for newer people to learn about the chapel. We had a business meeting at the Centers for Spiritual Living, and here at Woodland Chapel. And Cheryl Guess, our speaker, joined the board. Let's give her a little hand. And while we're acknowledging people, Kathy Daniels was elected to a new 3-year term. And Sandy McGann retired from the board and was recognized for her service and received a bouquet of roses, which she just fairly glowed about. Just give her a little hand. If you're interested in learning more about the science of mind, and you're new to this philosophy, or you'd like to really get deeper into it, just figure out where you are in relationships with spirit and what's going on in this wonderful experience of life itself, we're planning a 10-week foundation level class to explore these concepts, such as wholeness and abundance and living in the flow, immortality, joy, and a deeper connection to your inner self and the divine. More details will be available. In fact, we're preparing the information now. Cheryl and I will present the class. And if you really enjoy this series of talks on the 4 agreements, there will be a class later this year called Self-Mastery. And it just picks up that theme and it goes into it. So there's plenty of opportunity to explore the spiritual path that you're on. Let's see. We will have a new member honoring service on March the 10th. And that's the same day, daylight savings times. So be sure to wake up early. Don't forget about our Friday book study group. They are in the process of selecting a new book. And I think one of the books under consideration is Aldous Huxley's, what is it, Kathy? The Perennial Philosophy. That's an interesting concept. It really brings together some new thought ideas. Childcare is available during service. There are prayer request forms in the pews, and Michelle has something.
I just want to say about the book group, because we've had people ask. It's not like that we go chapter by chapter or anything, and if you've never been to one and you want to pop in, you can pop in, and if then you want to come again, you can come again. If you miss a few, because life gets in the way, that's fine, because it has a nice flow, and it doesn't matter if you come in and out.
Sounds like the emphasis is on discussion.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just wanted to put that out there, because some people are thinking it's like we go chapter by chapter or something,
Right.
and it can fall
No,
behind.
they're not reading the book at you, or you're not reading the book at anybody else.
Because
Okay.
we don't have a copy.
If you're interested in service for the chapel, we always have opportunities to contact Reverend Don, myself, Reverend Julie, or Practitioner Cheryl, Practitioner Ruth, or one of our board members like Michelle or Kathy. Always things to be done. Anything else you feel moved that needs to be announced this morning? All right. Then let's go to the next thing on the agenda, which will be our congregational song. Let's do that, Blaine.
Okay, so before we do the congregational song, I was at a songwriter retreat last weekend, And I have a chant I would like to share with you and have you join with me. We're going to do it for about 6 times through. It goes, I am one with the sky. I am one with the water. I am one with the earth. I am one with the source of all. I am one with the sky. I am one with the water. I am one with the earth. I am one with the source of all. I am one with the sky. I am one with the water. I am one with the earth. I am one with the source of all. I am one with the sky. I am one with the water. I am one with the earth. I am one with the source of all. With the sky, I am one with the water. I am one with the earth. I am one with the source of all. I am one with the sky. I am one with the water. I am one with the earth. I am one with the source of all. Oh, thank you. Okay, Sacred Love. I think you have the words in there. And you're welcome to stand as if you can, if you choose to. You are sacred love. Sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love. Sacred love, that's all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Such a holy place. You are blessed peace. Blessed peace. It's all that you are. You are blessed peace. Blessed peace, it's all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Such a holy place. You are deepest joy, deepest joy. That's all that you are. You are deepest joy, deepest joy. That's all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Such a holy
Be seated. Oh, that was a wonderful song. Thanks, Blaine.
Many voices, one heart.
Yeah. Yeah, faked me out by doing first one song and then another. That's great. Oh, from sacred love, we go to the sacred presence with our beautiful and wonderful practitioner, Ruth Tenike, who will lead us in an invocation.
Let us come together. Come with me. I know that God is all I am. I know God is all that you are. And I know that love travels all around the world because God is all there is. All the people, all those who are in distress, all those who are ill are in our prayers. I know that God knows only health. God knows the way to full health. And I know that this morning, those who are participating, as you all are, in this gathering, to recognize that God is all there is, and God is in everyone. And I know that the message this morning is very, very special. And I know that Cheryl is very, very special to me too. And I'm thankful that I'm able to stand and speak to you and know that each one of you is my love, and I receive your love back. And I release these words into the law of love, knowing that the answer is always yes. And will you join me in saying, and so it is. Now, will you please join me in the affirmation that's in your program? Because I treat myself with care and respect, I'm prepared to bring my best self into each day. This higher self wisely and chooses love. My brother, my sister, you deserve nothing less, and the universe expects nothing more. And so it is. I'm going to go sit.
And now we will enjoy a reading from the Science of Mind magazine, and our church board secretary, who is going to present it, is Satya Riversong.
Well, by strange coincidence, I found a reading called Always Do Your Best. Isn't it great how that works? Live like you're already dead, man. Have a good time. Do your best. Let it all come ripping right through you. Jeff Bridges in character, in case you didn't notice. Yes. But as Ernest Holmes puts it, we should expect the best, and so live that the best may become a part of our experience. A fable by Masood Farzan reminds me to always do my best no matter what. In the fable, a man walking by a river sees a fox lying on the riverbank. The fox doesn't move, so the man assumed it somehow was disabled and wondered why it appeared to be well fed. A few moments later, the man sees a tiger come out of the jungle. Surely the tiger will eat the fox, the man thought. To his surprise, the tiger has a large piece of meat in its mouth. The tiger approaches the fox and gently lays down the meat, which the fox promptly gobbles up. The man returns the next day and sees the same behavior between the tiger and the fox. The fox is being provided for, he surmises. This is what the sacred scriptures tell us. I will never have to provide for myself again because God will bring me what I need. So the man sat home day and night, but no one came with food. The man began to lose weight, overcome with hunger. Eventually, weak from not eating, he got up and walked to the river, where he saw the fox being eating its fill again. Angrily, he cried out, I put my faith in God, and God did not feed me. A voice answered, Open your eyes to the truth. Follow the example of the tiger instead of imitating the fox. Affirmation. I bring the best of myself to every situation and experience.
Something's calling me. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I ever knew before. Feel like I'm walking on marbles. Can't still the earth beneath my feet. With my head in the clouds, my naked legs left dangling. I feel my heart begin to pound. And something's calling me a little bit deeper than I ever knew before. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I ever knew before. The long dark night, my soul it wanders. Can't see the light that shines within. God is everything and everywhere that I belong. Spirit gently wakes me from my sleep. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I ever knew before. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I ever knew before. Oh Lord, take me deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, just pull me deeper. Pull me deeper than I've ever been before. Oh God, I know I'm not the only one to live inside these blues. Oh God, I surrender my life to you. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I ever knew before. Sing with me. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I ever knew before. is calling. Love is calling me a little bit deeper than I ever knew before. Compassion's calling me a little bit deeper than I ever knew before. Peace is calling me a little bit deeper than I ever knew before. My faith is calling me a little bit deeper than I ever knew before. God is calling and I'm more grateful. God is calling me, and I'm more grateful than I ever knew before.
Ah, beautiful invitation indeed to listen to what is called Cheryl this morning. She's going to share with us a powerful message that comes from the Four Agreements. And she's being called also to teach classes with us. And she'll be starting a class, New Consciousness, with me, probably on March the 18th. There's an indication of interest in the library. If you'd like to put your name down, we're planning for 7 o'clock on Tuesday nights. Anyway, this calling, this love, this peace, this joy which is in her heart is about to be expressed in a most powerful and joyful way. Join me in welcoming Cheryl Guess, our practitioner.
Good morning. Do you feel that excitement just being alive? I mean, just breathing air. Isn't it great? Some days it's just not as bright and beautiful outside, but it's still a magnificent, glorious day. And so I'd like to talk to you today about the fourth of the four agreements. It's always do your best. And the one thing you have to remember, if we go back to the first agreement, being impeccable with your word, we have a book of law that we have built within ourselves that has all of our beliefs, all of our feelings, and all of our opinions. And so what we base our life and our perception on is from this book of law. And so also included with this book of law is the judge. The judge that sits there and says, they're not doing what I want them to do, so I'm angry. The judge that sits there and tells you that you are not worthy, that you're less than. These things that come into your mind, they all come from your perception, from your book of law. And so what you do is when you allow this judge to take a hold of you and form all of your thoughts, form everything that all of your existence, your whole perception, you also have a victim in there. The victim that allows you to beat up on yourself or think that you could have done better or you could have done something differently or whatever. But that's why it's so important with your book of law to remain impeccable with your word. You have to reach out and see other perceptions, other ideas, other opinions without making a judgment about it. And that takes you into the being perfect with your word. The human animal, or the human being, is the only animal on earth that punishes itself 1,000 times for one mistake. Think about it. Every time you go back and you mull that over in your mind or you start thinking about something, you are bringing it right now, fresh, right back into your existence. It is now in the present. And then you beat yourself up a little bit, or you have regrets, or you suffer, or you blame somebody else, or you blame yourself, whatever. But that's the victim mode. Because the victim is determined to be full of shame and blame and guilt. And that's what that victim does for you. So what the victim is also susceptible to is the second agreement. Don't take things personally. Every time you take something personally, you are creating a wound on your body somewhere. Think of it that way. And some of those wounds are teeny weeny little wounds, and some of them are massive, big, festering wounds. And so every time somebody comes up to you and says something to you that you take personally, they're basically jabbing their finger into that wound, and you are allowing them to do it. Taking things personally brings you to a place of depending upon other people's opinion of you as to who you are. When you take it personally, you start doubting the essence and the beauty and the spiritual being that you are. Because there is really no disconnect between the spiritual side of us and the human side. It's all one being, one individualized expression of God. So whenever you take things personally, you drink the poison. You drink the poison that you take into those wounds. It's like pouring salt on it. You drink that poison and you bring it into your body. So there's an example of one time, I think it's Edwina Gaines said, it was a little girl and she was singing. She was so happy and her mother had just gotten off work and she was exhausted. She did not want to hear this off-tune little, beautiful little voice singing and singing and singing. And finally she said, "Stop singing. I don't want to hear your voice." And from that moment on, the little girl believed she couldn't sing. So she drank the poison. Her mother didn't intend to feed her the poison, but she drank the poison. So all of those things that you bring into your life that create discord or cause you to feel shame, guilt, or blame, it's all a result of taking things personally. Now the next one is making assumptions. That's the third agreement. You make assumptions about people, about situations, about all kinds of things. We always do because we're trying to make clarity in our lives, in our world. We're trying to explain it. So, we used to say, "Oh, the world is flat." You know how many people still believe that? It's crazy. There's a whole flat earth society out there. But the whole thing is that we believed that for so long, and we had incorporated it in, and they actually thought if they sailed too far on the ocean, they'd fall off the edge. But are you doing that within your own life? Are you just believing in one thing that is absolutely not true about yourself, mainly? Have you really taken a good inventory of your life and said, "This is who I am, warts and all. This is it. I recognize myself. I love myself. I just think I am fabulous." Do you feel that way some days? Yeah, we should all try to feel fabulous as much as we can. But the problem with making an assumption about something is we believe our assumptions are true. We think that we are speaking our truth. We think that we know exactly what's going on in any situation. But it all comes back to our book of law. Because whatever we're assuming is coming from those beliefs, those feelings, and those opinions. So have you ever been confronted with one of your opinions and all of a sudden you saw the light that, that wasn't the truth? Have you ever? And when you open up your heart and your mind to new experiences, and not just depending upon the past hurts and the little cuts and the little wounds that we all have experienced sometime in our life, are you ready to look past that? Well, the one thing that is great news is the first three agreements. Be impeccable with your word, don't take anything personally, and then the third agreement being don't make assumptions. All of those can be done with relative ease if you always do your best. If you always do your best, not trying to go overboard or not trying to do less than, but if you're giving your absolute best, then all of those other things will fall into place. You will stop drinking the poison of other people's opinions because Doing your best means being impeccable with your word. It means not beating yourself up with your own words and not allowing other people to do it either. Being strong and being that spiritual being, that powerful being that is you, and start to just take control of your life. Take control of your emotions. Because if you don't control your emotions, they control you. Of course, we're going to feel sad. We're going to be angry sometimes. All different kinds of feelings are going to go through us. But if you're truly doing your best, they just fade away, whatever they are. And that goes for good things too. Somebody comes up to you and says, "Oh, I think you are so beautiful. Look at your hair. You're just really moving it today, girl," you know? But take that with a grain of salt as well, because guess what? Even though it's kind and it's compassionate and it's really nice to hear, it is somebody else's opinion. Isn't that wild? It's not yours. You'd like to make it yours, and I hope it is yours. I hope that you feel beautiful and lovely and warm and compassionate every day of your life. Because what other purpose is there for us to be here? Seriously. Are we here to suffer? Do you really believe that? I mean, I know a lot of the old doctrine and things that have been taught over the years that suffering is good. It makes you closer to God. I don't believe that. When I'm suffering, man, I don't think God's even in the room. I want it to be where I recognize that I am creating my suffering by listening to other people's opinions, or by listening to, or making these assumptions that are wild and crazy. You know, just like, oh, I think that that person must eat too much because they're overweight. Really? You have no idea what's going on. One of the things that we just had in Edwina Gaines' class, and I can't quote it verbatim, but it said that if we could just in 1 minute step back and look at the sorrow and the pain that the life of our enemy has, we would have so much compassion for them rather than anger or being somebody that is our opposing force or whatever it is. So that's what it means about doing your best, is looking beyond whatever your mood is that day. Okay, maybe your mood's not so great today. Maybe your energy's kind of low, so you're not performing at top peak performance. You're just kind of sliding through that day. And maybe you're not giving your best. But that's what self-care is all about, is making the commitment to care for this human body as well as the spiritual part of you that is inside, to care for these and to love them. And don't allow anyone else past certain boundaries to hurt you. Don't allow anyone else to say something that you're going to drink the poison. It's that important that you just remain and know and explore who you are. If you do your best in any situation, then you don't have anything to answer to from the judge within you, that voice. If you've done your best, if the judge starts saying, well, maybe you could have done this. Oh, I should have said that. Oh, maybe I should have done this. If you are truly doing your best, you can just tell the judge, I did my best. Shut up. That's it. I did my best. And it's going to change, like I said. And you know what? Sometimes you will give your absolute best, and it will still just turn out to be an absolute disaster. You've run into those before when you're sitting there afterwards saying, what happened? I was doing my best, and all of a sudden everything just flew apart or just went a different direction. But if things change in your life, let it go. Knowing that change is something that allows something new to come into your existence, to come in your perception. Maybe it's a new belief that you get rid of that. Maybe you get rid of that belief that there is a punishing God. I swear, that was the scariest thing for me growing up. God was always mad at me. Everything I did was going to not please God. I was always so worried about that. But it was because I was brought up in a teaching that was of a punishing God, of an angry God that we had to please. So to find this and the warmth and the love that you're immersed in this teaching, oh, it was totally life-changing for me. When you're doing your best, you're not doing it for some reward or some other expectation. You're just doing your best because you want to do your best. It's a commitment within you. It's the way that you get control of your life, is by always giving your best. And I've said that so many times now, you're probably sick of it, but I guess what doing your best means is that you start examining your opinions and you start examining your beliefs to make sure that you're really showing up as the best person. That your book of law is now a book that you can change, that you can take out a page or two or add a page or two to. You just have to realize that it is your choice. You get to choose how you show up in the world. Scary, huh? How are you showing up? Do you meet people with an open and receptive heart? Or are you scared and full of fear, not wanting to try new things, not take a risk? Because life's just fine just the way it is. Is it? Is everything great in your life? Are all your relationships, your finances, your creative expression, and your health, are they all in perfect condition right now? What can you do to show up in your life for the joy, the beauty, the love, the light, the harmony, the peace? Because believe it or not, that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be loving this. We're supposed to be enjoying life and living it to the fullest. And if you look at your opinions at times, just remember, a lot of our opinions came from our parents. Bless their hearts. It's not that they were trying to harm us or do something that was not healthy or good for us. We just realized that they did the best they could with the tools they had. And it's diverse. You know, different things and different beliefs are different parts of the country. You know, it's just what you were taught. But do you have to keep it just because somebody told you it? Do you have to believe it because somebody told it to you? If you are always making assumptions, then you are making a problem that is probably 99% not real. What do you do to keep from making assumptions? You ask questions. You ask questions. I'm sorry, I'm not clear if you just told me I was stupid or not, but could you really please clear that up for me? You know, so let's, but just remember, when people are forming their opinions and they're showing you who they are, that's the big thing. When somebody's coming up to you and says, you dress funny and your dog is ugly, that's their opinion. Has nothing to do with you. And that's the hardest thing to learn, that no matter what somebody says, it has absolutely nothing to do with you. It has come from their perception. Sometimes I really wonder what some people's books of law look like. You know, what they think is okay and what they think is not okay. Because that's basically what it is. And that's what judgment is. I think that what you're doing is good, or I think what you're doing is bad. Can you just become what Ernest Holmes has said, the observer? To observe it, but not incorporate it into your thinking or into you, not to drink the poison, but just to observe it. And you know what always goes through my mind when somebody's being, gossiping or going on about something like that? I just look at them and think, thank you for showing me who you are, because that's what you're doing. You know, I just got to the point where, well, you know, and once we get hurt, our feelings get hurt, we've got to tell everybody and their dog what happened. You know, so we're gossiping because we're only telling from our point of view. And are you really going to change somebody's other perception by telling them, or by gossiping and telling people and telling stories out of turn? Because gossip is poison as well, because it wounds people. It hurts others. So doing your best means also making sure that your best is not harming someone else. Does that make sense to you? That's our whole point, is just to love, to start from that place of love, and to make sure that we're going through this life full of optimism and joy, and we want good for everyone. We want everyone to have the same good that we do, because we know this is an infinite universe and that it is unlimited. So you getting your good is not taking away from someone else's good. All it is doing is providing you with your good from your perception. Now, some people would think that being rich and famous and up on stage and all that kind of stuff must be really fun. I think it sounds like hell myself, but still, it's one of those things where you're looking at somebody else and desiring that. There's nothing wrong with that. Desiring what you want in life is what we're here for. We're here to create a life using our words, using our love, our compassion, to create the life that we want, that we desire, that is the truth of who we are. Because that's the other thing. Lao Tzu, my favorite ancient philosopher, he says that a man is truly authentic, or as he called it, actualized. That you've seen the light, that you've seen something, that you know that you're part of something bigger than just this individual little body. And he says that an actualized human being is a man that is the same in public as he is in private. So if you're out in public and you're all happy and everything else, you can't go home and scream at everybody, you know. So that's not being authentic. And when you can reach that point to where you know that this is who I am, then you are authentic. Everyone you speak to, everyone you deal with, you're exactly the same person all the time. And that's, you know, that is trusting yourself and loving yourself. Saying, I am fabulous. That's it. So you have to have what Don Miguel says, the discipline of a warrior. Because a warrior, when he's in battle, can't be sitting there thinking about what am I going to make for dinner tonight, you know, or anything like that. They are in focus. And so that's what it takes to get your emotions and your perceptions and your feelings under control. That you are the person that is coming forth and being authentic without all this emotional baggage or anything else holding you back. You're just being open and receptive to love, to everyone, to everything. All the experiences that come into your life, no matter how they look, it's all still God. And that's why when something changes in your life, release it. Okay, it changed. Don't try and scramble and get it back. Unless, you know, it's something that maybe you're the one that caused this to remove from your life, and maybe there's something that you need to do to rectify the situation. But just knowing that you have this ability to change your life in a flash, that quick, just by changing your beliefs, your thoughts, and your words, and not taking anything personally, and not making assumptions. Just always trying to do your best. Because all of the other three will fall right into place if you're doing your best. I just like to, one thing that came from Don Miguel, I love this. It says, your existence proves the existence of life and energy. Just by being here, you're proving that there is some intelligence, that there's some universal power that is back of all of this. Because otherwise, I don't know. I don't like to think of myself, human beings created in this bubbling cesspool of junk that suddenly we came, and then over evolution. I do believe that we do evolve. I do believe that. But I do also believe that we come from a place that we are eternally connected to. Meaning we were there before we were here, and we will be there afterwards. We will still be part of that energy. Nothing can change that. And so I just would like to leave you with this. Enjoy your life. You might be suffering from something, but it is a choice to suffer. I know it doesn't feel that way sometimes, but it is. It is a choice. So enjoy it. Glorify your existence. Make it something fabulous and wonderful and perfect for you, from your perception. Let's just all go out and show God a good time. Namaste.
So this is a song about how we, as a community, how we as a people, as we as a nation, could be the best we can be. This ain't coming from no prophet, just an ordinary man. When I close my eyes, I see the way this world could be when we all walk hand in hand. When the last child cries for a crust of bread, when the last man dies for the words he said, when there's shelter over the poorest head, we shall be free. When the last thing we notice is the color of skin, when the first thing we look for is the beauty within, when the sky and oceans are clean again, we shall be free. Oh, we shall be free. We shall be free. Stand straight, walk proud. We shall be free. And when we're free to love anyone we choose, when this world's big enough for all different views, when we're free to worship in our own kind of view, we shall be free. Oh, 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 we shall be free. We shall be free. Have a little faith, reach out, we shall be free. Talks for the very last time, and there's nobody walking a step behind, when there's only one race, that's mankind, we shall be free. Oh, 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 we shall be free. We shall be free. Have a little faith, walk proud. We shall be free. We shall be free. We shall be free.
best you can be. That's one of our lovely inspirations for the morning. We are looking at this time as an opportunity to be the best we can be in sharing that which is in our hearts and our souls. That's which brings us to life and living here at Woodland Chapel. So join me, if you will, in reading the offertory affirmation in the program. Divine love, moving in and through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and that all that I receive. Thank you, God.
Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say Amen. Blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say Amen. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say Amen.
The acquiescence of our soul, the amen of our words, proclaim the truth that each of us is truly a blessing. Each of us is truly a gift to the universe, to be recognized as such in our own hearts, and to be shared freely with all others. For this and the great gifts that are given us this morning, we give thanks and join in saying, and so it is. Oh, let's stand and recite our prayer of protection. The words are in the program. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Let's join hands and sing our peace song.
Country roads take me home to the place I belong. Willamette Valley, Cascade Mountains, country road, Oregon, take me home. All my memories gather round her, a winery lady, stranger to craft breweries. Hot and dusty, faded on the sky, whiskey taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eyes. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. Willamette Valley, Cascade Mountains, Oregon, take me home. Oh, take me home, Oregon. Yes, take me home, my Oregon.